With all the famous battles and minor battles of World War II etched in gamers' minds for years to come, it's pretty unbelievable that some World War II shooters are still making a name for themselves, like Call of Duty and Brothers in Arms. Surprisingly, Medal of Honor's had quite a bumpy road after their one and pretty much only good World War II shooter, Allied Assault. The creators of Allied Assault had left from EA to develop Infinity Ward, which is now making the astounding Call of Duty series. Therefore, all of the Medal of Honor games have suffered as a result. But the new gen consoles are upon us, so EA decided to spice things up a bit and pretty much do the impossible. Airborne takes place once again in World War II as you play as PFC Boy Travers. You fight some of the most historic battles through 6 unbelievably huge non-linear levels. Each time you begin a level, you start an airplane and jump out. What you do from here is up to you. You can either land on a rooftop and start picking off enemies with your sniper rifle, or you can go headlong into a frontal assault. Putting this factor in, this game could be considered one of the most non-linear World War II or even non-linear first-person shooters to date. The only thing is, there are invisible walls that kind of gently keep the player in a certain restricted area. Sometimes then you have to assault each area in the same direction. This isn't exactly as they advertise it, but nonetheless, the parachuting is an unbelievably nice addition. Your objectives usually consist of go over here and blow this thing up, or kill all these enemies and then you win. Even though this really has been done so many times before and may get a little bit repetitive, it's how you do it and how you get there that really matters in Medal of Honor Airborne. This game was to kick off EA on the next-gen consoles and computer. The graphics have most definitely been updated to modern-day standards and looks simply astounding. But there is one problem. This game is built off the UT3 engine, and I had quite a few problems playing this game on my computer. I've seen hundreds of graphical glitches and little errors, and just it doesn't seem completely polished, and it looks like they could have spent a little bit extra more time on this. Draw distance is beautiful, and the visual rush when jumping out of an airplane is simply astounding. You'll be breath taken away as you jump out and just see how war-torn Europe really looked. As Call of Duty 4 is being applauded for having some of the best sounds to date, Medal of Honor Airborne fails in comparison. A lot of the weapons in Medal of Honor Airborne just seem so underdone and underpowered, it's somewhat disappointing. Although the voiceovers are actually pretty nice. The Americans sound fairly real, and the Germans taunt you in literate German. Listening to this game might just get you speaking German in your sleep. For the hundreds of people who adored Medal of Honor's Allied Assault multiplayer, don't fret. 3 of the most popular Allied Assault maps have been recreated and brought up to next-gen standards. Therefore, you won't be fretting if you're going to be missing Allied Assault. Plus, 3 variations of the new maps from the campaign portion of Medal of Honor Airborne have been brought over to the multiplayer. All in all, you get about 6 maps and some true classics. Although there aren't too many different game types, there's the standard team deathmatch and deathmatch, airborne deathmatch, and an objective style gameplay. So for the record, in the last 1 or 2 years, Medal of Honor seems to be the most innovative of FPSs I've seen yet. Call of Duty just is another FPS that's a really good FPS. Halo is the exact same thing. I think EA has finally found their inner spirit and can finally figure out how to make a decent, and if not, excellent game. Although the game is very short at only 6 levels, each ranking at about 20 to 30 minutes, this game will last you maybe a good 4 to 7 hours, even on the hardest of difficulties. Nonetheless, if you can find this for $20 to $30, this is definitely a game for you. Medal of Honor Airborne gets a solid 8.5 out of 10. Finally, an innovation that's worth checking out.